The great thing about Zoom and Zoom into Wine, it allows us to meet great winemakers from all over the world. And tonight we're now moving to the Margaret River in Western Australia with Virginia Wilcox or Wilcock. Which one did you? Which one is it, Virginia? Is it Virginia Wilcock?
Yes, it is.
All right.
No S. No S.
All right. All right. And you're sitting in Margaret River right now?
Yes, I am. In the vault where we keep all of our beautiful archive wine.
Fantastic. So, Virginia, tell us first of all about you, because I know you have an incredible reputation. You've made beautiful wine for a long time, and I'm so honored to be able to taste this particular monument to Cabernet with the group in this lineup tonight. Thank you for doing it, and please tell us about your background.
Yeah, look, I've been at Vasse Felix now for 17 years as the chief winemaker, and it's been a beautiful journey. But I've lived in Margaret River now for 32 years. So I came down here and fell in love with Margaret River after university. And as you were saying, the forest, the ocean, the produce was just magical. And it was a pretty small region only 32 years ago. There was Margaret River in total is 56 years old. And Vasse Felix was the very first place. But when I came to Margaret River, I fell in love with the place, but I decided that I really needed to get some experience in the outside world. So I did quite a few vintages in Italy and a few crazy vintages in Albania. Well, one that I tried to do in Albania and one in New Zealand.
Wow.
It was all about that journey of discovery of wine structure, flavour, and just trying to understand wine and how it could be made around the world. So I was never trying to make one variety. It was about shape and space and wonderful natural winemaking. I'm a true believer that wine is the most natural alcoholic beverage known to man, and that we should be making that wine as close to that as we possibly can and represent the place that we come from. I'm a big believer in wild yeast fermentation because that's part of the vineyard. And I guess my journey here at Vasse Felix has become this incredibly pure expression of one of the most unique places in the world of wine today, called Margaret River.
Fantastic. Yeah, Margaret River is such a great destination. And for those of us in California, you would feel right at home in the Margaret River. The weather, probably a little bit more in common with Northern California, almost to the Oregon border, where the forests touch the ocean. And that's really the experience that you'll have there. And how many wineries are in the Margaret River?
Wow, it's pretty amazing. We produce less than 2% of Australia's total wine, but there's about 160 unique producers in the Margaret River region. It's a very small boutique region of very high quality vineyard land. It's very low yielding and it's very high quality. And I guess that where the forest, there's 47% of this region is still natural forest, and the ocean influence is absolutely significant. So south of Margaret River, like to go south is a massive cold ocean and there's nothing until the Antarctica. And then when you go west, there's nothing until you get to South Africa. And that cold ocean keeps our climate moderate and beautiful, and it makes it cool climate and wonderful.
Excellent. I just wanted people to see your beautiful face, Margaret. And we're going to continue with some photos here. The ocean, the forest. And can you tell us a little bit about the brand? How long has it been around, and what are some of the goals for the brand?
So it was a really beautiful discovery by a man called Tom Cullity. And look, this is the wine that we're tasting today, and this wine is a wine named after Tom. And we've only made this wine since 2013. So it's effectively the oldest vines existing in Margaret River today that are making wine. It is from the beautiful little plot of land that Tom Cullity planted in 1967, made from Cabernet and Malbec, that are ancient old 1850s mass selection clonal material that eventually came down to Margaret River, and they're grown on their own roots. So these beautiful Cabernet and Malbec vines, I think, are actually probably one of the most unique propositions this world has to offer. Because most places that are growing Cabernet have are planted on American rootstock because of phylloxera. Because of extreme isolation, we have been able to avoid phylloxera to this point. Touch wood, we do not want it coming in. And these beautiful old ancient vines grown here at Vasgilix, literally out the window here, have been in the ground now for 56 years. They're in beautiful health. Tom Cullity selected incredible soil that was only, it had 18 inches of soil before you got to clay. Well-drained, beautiful soil, and we're 4 kilometres from the ocean. So we have this beautiful cooling sea breeze, but Margaret River's climate is Mediterranean. So we have a warm, dry summer, very low disease risk, but an air conditioner coming from the ocean. So we have this incredible length of time to ripen Cabernet tannins. This is not a big Cabernet. It's a Cabernet Malbec blend that has this space, elegance, finesse, a juiciness and a plumpness from the oldest vines in the region, and from one of the most beautiful climates that can grow these ancient old clones from Bordeaux, 1800s Bordeaux material that's ended up here in Western Australia.
Is there a story, a fable about which winery you took those vines from?
No, there's not. It is a great mystery. In the 1850s, nobody really recorded much. But, we do know that, Bordeaux in the late 1800s was mostly Cabernet and Malbec. And we do know from our vines' performance, though, as well, that it is a mass selection. So, in the 1800s, they haven't isolated lots of little clones and, produced them and worked out what goes on rootstock and all that kind of stuff. This is old material that has a beautiful framework. I mean, I can imagine this style of wine being the style that was made in the 1800s in Bordeaux. It's wild fermented, whole berries, wild fermented, and just nurtured beautifully in the winery, lots of oxygen during ferment. But then we've drained it to barrel, and we've left it in barrel for nearly 18 months, and we haven't racked and returned it. It's been sitting on its lees for 18 months, aging gracefully and beautifully with all of that beautiful wild leaves. Now, we don't rack and return because you rack and return if you need to get more oxygen because the tannins are too hard, or you've got slightly, smelly leaves. These clones, the way we're making them with this beautiful wild yeast, have neither the ugly leaves that you need to get it off, nor do they have aggressive tannins that we need to get more oxygen in. So it's this succulent, juicy, beautiful wine that's being made about as naturally as you could expect from some of the most amazing grapevines grown in this region. Beautiful. So it is a top wine.
It is. And you're one of the few brands where I need to carry both. I carry the Margaret River bottling as well as the high-end bottling. And I want to compliment you because the regular bottling on our site is around $25. And I just don't know that there's a better Cabernet, anything close to it. It's just a wonderful, value-driven, very site-specific, region-specific wine. And then you elevate to this level and you're competing with the best wines in the world. And so I would want to thank you for sharing the time with us. And we're going to taste the wine now with our group live. And I just can't express enough just how awesome it is to get down there to your region, see it firsthand, to smell the ocean, and to feel that influences that you are able to use here in the wine. So just really appreciate you making time for us today.
Absolute pleasure. Hopefully everybody enjoys this little beauty.
Or your charm. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Really, I hope everyone enjoys the Cabernet Malbec from Margaret River.